Afternoon, everyone. Just bear in mind you can interact by unmuting as normal, and you guys come in there, obviously on the chat line as well. It's a forum where we interact. Any questions we can discuss on trading matters, we can do this. It's not a training room, remember. We will be starting, like I said, the chat line at 4, and then we'll review and go through trades and discuss the way forward, strategies, how things are set up. But very important you do interact. We'll discuss trades, etc. Just give everyone a bit more of a chance. We'll start at 4. Okay, 4 o'clock. Let's get started. As mentioned, anybody new, just part of the chat line, any trading, any strategy, position size calculators. We talk about DXY, you don't have it, just let me know and I'll copy and paste it because you need to know that's the dollar index. You need to know the economic calendar. I've also got a link for that if you wanted. And I've also got the yield and 10-year note. All three of them are very important. You got them? Fair enough. If you haven't, it's up to you to actually ask about it. Okay. It's vital, in fact. You have to interact, or else I cannot read your mind. And I can't help if you don't help to ask. Okay. But well, it did brilliantly, and then it suddenly jumped up. We'll start with the GR30, as mentioned there. Came off superbly. Let's go get on the hour. What's the hour? What are we now? 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1, 12, 11, 10. It's coming off beautifully. Look at this, right down here. What a pleasure. And sun just going up again. But I mean, that's been the market a little bit lately. So it's a pity because that was a fantastic trade. I still think it's a great trade. Still think it's come off. I would still have to sell it. I think downside's the name of the game. Jumped around a bit, but it's coming off again. Dollars doing the thing. DXY shot up to 11245 in the last 2 hours. Decided to come back down and tax 112 again. So it's international economic fear out there with all the major things we've discussed in the past, which is creating a lot of fear amongst the heavyweight wholesale traders, and that's the problem. But the overall, we're still not out of the bears yet, so sell around is still, and I'm still happy with this. Stopped out, you can go in again. If you're not stopped out, hold on to it. So I think it's a great trade. I see the downside of this one. I see the downside of the NAS. I see the downside of the Dow. I see the downside on the S&P. And it's giving a bit of a jip just now. But as you can see right up there a couple hours ago, I think it's trying to pull back a bit now. But who knows? You look in profit, go to the loon, come back and change it again. It's extreme noise going on. It's the best way I can put it, extreme noise. I can only give the overall angle. Just saw Philip there, remind me. I haven't clicked on this thing here. Just remember, where is it now? That's better. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so there's extreme noise, you know, the up and down noise in the markets is happening at the moment. Okay. All right, let's see, put in trades ideas up. I'll continue what we looked at this morning. All of them doing well. Then, of course, the dollar decided to come off. We'll jump down again. GBP USD went right down to, where did it go down to? From 1 point to just under 1.14. We got a little bit lower than that. Right down to 50 pips, jumped up. I think it might be coming off again now. What a, yeah, it's just, this noise is really sort of starting to get to one of it, you know. It's a complete, utter lack of any concrete direction. It doesn't matter if we go long and I go short, or I go short, we go long, we both go short, both long together. This jumping around on a daily basis is hectic on the side. So I've been doing this for a while, and believe me, I've seen it. So I can imagine you guys must be feeling. If this sodding thing is just like the casino, is it red or sodding black? At least in the casino, it's become you were wrong. At least you know it was red instead of black, or vice versa. Yeah, it's red or black, or hang on a minute, what's red? Oh, hang on, no, it's black. What the hell, you know? Very frustrating. Yeah, a little bit, but I think so. That's discounted in. Anyway, we shall see. Okay, I'm still for the short. The dollar started to rise again. Not rose again. The one came off. I still say for many reasons why the dollar strength. Profit. I thought about 131. It might, 1300. But it got down there. It might get a bit of a dump. Clearly, it did. We went down for a bit again. So yeah. So some guys got stopped out, shot back up again. So I think it's now it could come back down again. But anyway, those are in staying, don't double up clearly. But I think it's going to come back down again and take out this and get some decent movement down. So anyway, it's not proper whatever. Euro dollar as well. You're on. What do we get in not? Euro dollar. Where is it written down now? Give me a second. Oh yeah, 98.63. Where's the euro dollar? I'm on the wrong one. Sorry. 63 went down beautifully, popped up, still in profit, dancing around. At least it's still in profit. AUD same story, came off fantastically and decided to pop straight back up again. I think it's now coming off again. We got an AUD USD at 63 or 63.10 or something like that. Went right down, as you know, even took out, well, went right down there. You can tell it where it went down. 62.77, and then decided to pop back up again, and now it looks like it might be coming off. So stick with it, guys. Stick with that one. Stick with the USD, the GBP, and the other one was the NZD. Again, came off beautifully, shot right back up again, and then started to come off again. So some people might take a second trade after taking profit and jumping in again. So it's very much a guesswork when it comes to the TP. Often there might be a TP down there, but these volatile markets might be worth taking. If it goes down, sell again. If it doesn't, wait for it goes back up and sell it down again. That went shooting back up again, as you could see just earlier on, 18, and that's come back down to 91, and we're back in profit again. God, what a bloody roller coaster. Yeah, nah, keep hold the short side, but it's just this up and down to get you a little bit, to say the least. Okay, German 30 has you with us. That did beautifully. Then it popped his bloody head up, but I'm still happy with the trade. And if you're not in it, you have to go into it now. GR30, what's it at the moment? It's a higher price, no problem at all. I like the downside of that. I think you do worse than going in a market. So if you haven't got the German 30, you've got enough spare free margin. German 30, I think it's okay. I see downside on the indices going forward. Solar at it. Okay. Euro ZD, okay. Before I even look at it, I would say probably more downside than up, but I don't know. Yeah, it is a downside, yeah. I still think the euro is the weaker of the two currencies. That's the one, sorry. Weaker of the two currencies. It's in the strong zone now, but sideways at the moment. But I think down the line, I expect a bit more downside. Having said that, technically speaking, it's in the buy zone. To me, there's conflicting areas here. Technically, it's a buy. Fundamentally, it's a sit in the sidelines with that maybe angling towards a bit of a sell. So my thoughts on that would leave it alone. So old enough to remember Dr. Dolittle would know the push me, pull you. It was an animal made up animal, obviously. remember, and it had a head of the front, head of the back, called a push me pull you. Well, this is a push me pull you. I see fundamentally, I see downside. Technically, is upside. So push me pull you. So leave it alone. When as a kid, Doctor Dolittle, loved it. I'm not sure reading that out would do much good anyway. Okay, so yeah, the trade's out, doing okay, just jumping around. There's more noise than usual because of political worries around the world, but noise it nevertheless is. CAD, GBP CAD, that's been a lot of jip, but we tried that one. Where is it now? GBP CAD, it's in a profit, 51.55.50. So it's been jumping around like they all have, at least it's still a profit, which is okay. And then GBP AUD, that was one of yours, Zeph. I saw the sidelines on this one. 7993, what's it now? 7993. So you had a sell on. No, you had a buy, Zeph, so you're doing very badly. You had a buy at 7993. Look how it's down 60 pips. Laugh out loud. No, you're doing very well. Let me joke. You had a sell on that one. Very good. He's up 60 pips. Well, you'll know the score. Modify your stop, protect yourself from these dancing in the dark markets, to paraphrase Mr. Bruce Springsteen. Another one you had out there, EURAUD, 5634. 5634, that was a sell, was it, or was it a buy? That's a buy. 5634, EURAUD. 5634. That's come off a little bit, but not a panic. It looks like the round figure held. Again, went down quite a bit early on, didn't it? Anyway, it looks like the round figure's holding, so it might bounce from here. It's only about 18 pips down, so maybe that'll come right. Okay, another one you had was a buy on NZD-JPY, 84.84. I was a bit hesitant on this one. It wasn't too bad. Anyway, see what it's doing. Now it's about the same. It's 4 point. What the hell's 4 pips? It's flat, same thing. I hesitate on this slice. I stayed out, but it's not a bad one. Not bad. But GBP ORD, I'm doing nicely. I think I should have agreed on that one. No, I didn't. Not me. No, I didn't agree. But I do see the downside there. And anyway, it certainly occurs. So well done. So Zeph, one slightly down, one's virtually even Stevens, and the other one is nicely in profits. Let's see how we stay there. Yeah, I've clearly just teasing you there. Yeah, see how quick your action would be. Thought we had moved. Say, what are you talking about? Okay, Meta. We had a trade out that did some horrible things on opening, but it might be starting to come right now. Yeah, look at it, jump right up there on opening. Where's our Meta trade come in on? Meta was 132, still up, but at least it's better than it was. It's right up to 137, so at least it's starting to come off. I think the NAS is starting to move down a bit. Oh, did it? Where was the stop loss? 136.50. Oh my goodness, yes, you did. Oh, shit. Beg your pardon. Thanks for reminding me there. Sorry about that. Pity, because jumped up on opening on that suddenly rather large move in the NAS. Now it's coming off. Okay, well. Okay, not so pretty. BA, is that still in? What are we getting on BA? I'm trying to find the link first. Get too cute. Where's BA? Ah, BA. 135.30, again, a short. I like that one. We got to stop at 139.48. Was that stopped out? I think not quite. I think just kissed the near side of the stop, but I think you could still be in there. You're still in there. Okay. I'm pro it. I see the downside, Jacob. Yeah. I think Meta's going to come off. I still see the downside. Yeah. So, yeah, Meta, I'm happy you got a better price. Go for it. Yeah. You're getting a better price, so maybe there's a couple of bucks higher stop loss and go in the same thing. Yeah. You're just shaving with that on the BA, but it seems to the holding. And again, it's come off a little bit, so we might end up okay. It's in the red at the moment, but hope for that one, and at least we're still in on it. Just got to get through that 1 hourly 200 moving average to get its moving going. Not just so much that, actually. Want to look at maybe the S&P as that coming off. Look at the Dow first. Put the 15, get a clearer picture. Hovering, jumping around as usual. It's not something to teach you, when you start learning to trade. You either get a down or an up. That's your whole life. You say you're going either north or south, not north, south, north, south, north, south. I mean, that is something that is one of the more difficult things after all these years to contend with mentally. So the start, it must be a nightmare. Anyway, it's still safe. The downside is there. An S&P, it's hovering, but it's trying to come off. So yeah, we'll see how they work out. We'll revisit later on. Okay, but yeah, I see the downside of Meta very much so. I agree with that trade. I think it's I'm sorry it stopped out, but I still see downside there. Okay. Is that the lot? I think that GBP CHF, I think that was on Friday. If anyone's still in it, they can look at it if you like. Yeah, so otherwise they're doing okay, but just not getting consistent. So it's just the noise is giving it shit, to say the least. Okay. All right, I've gone through them. The NAS, gold, I think leave it alone. I think gold for the simple lights back on again stuff. Gold's it's not high enough for me to sell. And I wouldn't be buying it, so I'm afraid to stand aside on that, guys. If you're still in the short, fair enough, stay with it. But if you're not, then leave it now. It's not good enough to sell it there. Got to back up to the 70 plus mark. We look at it, but not now. German 30 again with pleasure, yeah. I definitely see the downside there. Just giving me a better price. It's having a go at that. I'm not sure it's going to be maintained. But yeah. Came off so beautifully this morning. I thought, this is a beaut. We're on the way down, and then the noise kicks in again, and up it goes. Yeah, so I do sympathize guys starting because they're probably think linear. You get in and you go A to B, and an hour later you make progress towards your destination. Not an hour later, you're back to from where you started from. I'm afraid it did, Zeph, yeah. It did. Hit the stop, unfortunately, but I still see some downside. Maybe wait this time till it's covered below the 50, but these up and down marks, not sure it make much difference. You need to go down below, give the confirmation. People say, keep an eye on what we do. Keep an eye on it, find the entry. In you go, and it just bounces up. It's very, very noisy at the moment. Major indecision of the big world out there. Major in international markets. You confuse a lot of the pundits. You can hear them chatting on Bloomberg, on NCBC, on Business Day, on Money Web, on Money Talk, you name it. Fox Business News. Those are major business channels. So yeah, I honestly see the downside. I'm not sure we're going to maintain this upside. I don't see the situation outside of the world, though that can happen. But you've got to have your stop because, as you know, something strange can happen. And then you're on a bad one. So all this is, remember, it's advice. This is 100% guarantee, not set in stone. The closer you think it's 100%, the closer you're probably going to get it wrong. That was, to me, an excellent trade this morning. Every indicator down, and it did good perfect, it bounced. So be careful of your position sizing. It is vital. I have confidence you made. Even if you double your money and you made so much money and you can't go wrong, that's even more that you should be keeping on those volumes, keeping under control, mentally speaking. Because believe me, in the 20 years of doing this, I've been go figure many times. I thought, what is doing now? Or leaving it alone because I'll wait, and that's not the chance of that. I'll wait, the thing takes off. Or the great one comes back and bites, and the lousy one turns out to be the winner. But I say it is particularly noisy at the moment, so just bear that in mind. Well, the German 39, you get better risk reward. Maybe put the risk, put it up here somewhere. Maybe 30, what's it now, 12.9. We go with 30, maybe just above 30. I don't know that. Put a wide stop, but I see the downside. But sure, let's show me an hour's chart. See what I mean? Beautiful. Then I don't know. Anyway, maybe just wait till tomorrow. Okay, but wait till tomorrow. You might miss the trade, but it's bouncing around. Believe me, I've been doing a while now, and I'm fairly experienced with this. I think it's getting right on my nerves. Trust me, it's getting. Not you, Farney or Zeph, I mean all of you. And for the guys coming in brand new, they might know what the hell's going on. Thought you said we're going to Durban. Why are we going? Why are we in Limpopo when you leave Joburg? That sort of thing. I'm just looking at DXY in front of me now. Popped up nicely, came down, popped up, and that's coming off again. It's just complete noise at the moment. Just be very aware of it. But the overall picture is, I see the dollar strength. Leave the CAD and the CHF out of it. The yen is oversold those levels because we talked about this morning. Yeah, that's what you mean, but I completely concur. Absolutely concur from that basis. Unless you've got a kind of thing you want to put your stop loss so far away, then is it worth the hassle? Because in the end, you put the stop loss so far away, but are you going to hang on to make it worth your while? You can afford, you know, a $100 stop. Are you going to make sure you hold on with all the ups and downs to make it worth your while to get at least $100 profit out of it? You probably take $20 profit before it gets there. Meanwhile, you have all the stress of being in the red. So I'm not sure that answer either. It's just noise that is unpredictable at times. And sometimes it goes the opposite direction. Gold came off a bit, but it should have actually gone up a bit in the last couple of days. So it's different. I think we're doing actually amazingly well considering. In fact, astoundingly well. A few years ago, it was nothing like this, nothing like it. In fact, didn't have to worry about fundies with occasional on-farm, okay? Mostly just relied on your technicals used to work out, as long as you understood your technicals. But now the fundies, because of everyone having a phone now, everyone can be got at with the spin, and unfortunately, it's created quite a bit of knee-jerk reactions, overreaction in the market, emotions, shall we say. That's why once you become a high trader, most of them are cigarette smoking 100 a day and drinking a bottle of whiskey a day. Some of these high traders gets you. A high trader is a guy who handles hundreds of millions of dollars book here, trades on their behalf. That's sort of overseas. You're talking about the German 30. Well, that's all right. Well, you'll still be in. Then I think you'll be okay. WTI, I've been watching French. You like WTI, would you? Yeah, it's coming off. I've been saying that. Didn't want to get a trade out this morning. I think it was a bit low. If you get a trade, we discussed it was on early in the week or Friday it was. If you want to go in there, no one seemed keen, so I didn't put it down. But that was a better entry. I wouldn't be chasing it down here. If you're on board, different matter. I'm talking about entering to a new one. If you're on board, you need to mention that because it's a completely different scenario, obviously, to entering it. So yeah, WTI, if you're not on board, just let it run. You missed it. But if you're on board, good stuff. It's coming off. Aha, just coming off nicely. Yeah, mutual friend of ours, Apex, will be happy with that. Well, this damn, talk about that. What about this damn GBP CAD? Is anything happened with this sodding thing? The other Euro CHF. God, it's better start coming off. It just got to come off. And GBP CAD. Just it's unbelievable. Well, I wouldn't chase it now. I'm hoping some more downside, but you know, stops, TPs, you can't get a risk reward. I think I get Mike could get 80. What's this WTI? This is really is a nightmare of a thing. This WTI. Yeah, I was thinking of Brent. I'll do Brent similar. I was thinking of 83, 84 ish. If you're looking down these sort of levels here, let's take it right down to the bottom here. That's what $6 away. So you need about your stop's going to be in the region of about $4 or less, and a $4 stop don't will cut it. You know, you need your stop above this area here. See what I mean? It's over $4. You don't get a risk reward. So I presume the same with WTI. RR on what, Jacob? Must remember, you've got to put the information. We might be talking about 3 different instruments. I had a client today just WhatsApp me and said, should I move my stop? Nah, I put it on with pleasure, but I don't think it's a good idea. I'm assuming you're looking for a short, yeah. I want to put the stop up there. Where did I say? We'll make it 93. 93. And take it right to the bottom there. It might go lower, I know that. If you're aim for lower, it can do. If you take it right to the bottom there, you're talking 82.25. And that's stretching it, yeah? You're not going to get there in one shot and do it right now. There's some bloody drastic happens. It's suddenly decide to pump another 10 million barrels a day. So that's not going to get your risk reward unless you make a tighter stop, which I don't think is a great idea. You can if you want, it's up to you. I'm just suggesting. Whether you follow it or not, it's your choice. I can be wrong, yeah? But I'm sure you've all noticed. My advice, leave this alone. That ship sell. But if you're free to take whatever you like, anybody want to do this one, despite what I've said. Welcome, Harry. Yeah, I sent my WhatsApp details to you just now, so at least you got them. That's Harry Sleep, that, by the way. That's pronounced properly. Okay, good stuff. Glad you joined us. Hope you learned some stuff here. See some of the frustration, but we're doing all right. We're doing pretty damn well. But I say, you've got to watch this bloody noise they have. And there's sort of, sometimes it's really go figure. I've seen guys go in who are beginners done quite well because they didn't quite know. They thought, well, that's not a bad idea, I'll go for it. And I thought, oh my goodness, they're going the wrong way. But I can't tell them that in case they do it the right way. And by sheer luck, it goes in their favor. But for some, you know, it's like buying the yen against the dollar or something, and it has a pullback, just so they do it. And then, oh, hang on, they got it right. Okay. Okay, so the trades aren't doing too bad. They might be giving you some, putting a few grey hairs in you, but they seem to be doing okay. Well, the Brent certainly is at the moment. German 30s coming off, good stuff. Looks like, I like that trade. I really like that trade. Gas are doing absolutely sod all as per normal, but we'll see what happens there. Leave that alone, just let that run if you're in it, otherwise forget about it. S&P starting to come off. I think let's look at the shorter term. Yep. Maybe the Nasdaq's doing the same. Should do in theory. Yeah. So the client's got more balls than I've got, so I'm quite big on that for his account. He's smiling. Glad she didn't ask my advice, and it seemed to be working out. I didn't expect me going quite as big as that, put it that way. So it gave me a little bit of a palpitation too. Anyway, seems happy. All right. Oh, Meta's that coming off now? Thank goodness. Yes. BA. If you're out of Meta, it's not. I still like it if you want to join again. BA, it's not much, but I still think it'll come off. So it's hopefully come right. Look at the yen, Japanese yen. So it's been on up to 150. I think it's going to get there. Too late for you guys to join it. If anyone's on board, don't think anyone is. If they are, hold on. I definitely see 150. I think even higher actually, but certainly looking at 150 in the meantime. But some of the guys already taken it. Probably it's too late to join. No, can't get a decent risk reward, unfortunately. Frustrating when you see it go toward what you expected. There's a DUSD's come to the party. Good stuff. Okay, so maybe it'll come right in the end. All right, guys, I think we've covered most of the open trades we got out this morning. They all seem to be doing okay, and the ones that aren't seem to be coming right, so that's good. Anything else you'd like to look at in the meantime? What do you want to do with the US dollar CAD? Look at it with pleasure. What do you want to do with it? To give a short. Okay. Why would you want to be short? I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just asking why. See if I can make a bit of money. Yeah, Brenda's coming nicely down. Yeah, I know everyone wants to make a buck or whatever, but what makes you think it's going to go down instead of up? What do you base that on rather than hope? You know, it's important this because we need to discuss this so we know we're learning. It's like it says, why do you want this job? Because I want to make money. That's not an answer. You know, you got to what reason do you think will go up or down? That's the bottom line. What are you basing your hypothesis on? Nice word there. Okay, so we have camel. Yeah. Well, first of all, I'm afraid to say I wouldn't be too keen on this one because the Canadian's pretty strong as well. Although GBP seems to be given that belay that sort of attitude. But anyway, that apart, I know the oil's coming off a bit. It's a resource-driven country, and that's not helping the cause. So that, in my opinion, could weaken the Canadian, if anything, rather than strengthen it. Remember, if you're going short, you're buying the Canadian and selling the dollar, number one. Apart from that short-term moving average, I think the dollar is going to strengthen a little bit, and it's a sort of lower end of the range. I personally think I'm not sure I'll be joining this one, but I personally think this could be a little bit of upside here. I think the dollar's going to strengthen a bit. I think Canadian could weaken under the oil pressure. Everybody here? I'm still very well. Leave it unmuted. Never mind. Anyway, all muted now. Where are we? Yeah. So it's the bottom of the range. I think the dollar could come in. Bit of weak coming from the Canadian. It's in the buy zone. I'm not sure. I personally be short in this, and I'm not sure I'll be buying it either. It's not bad buy. I mean, it's the bottom of the range, but I think it's better fish to fry. Can you get a decent risk reward? What's the distance range before we get too cute? That's 120 pips. That's not bad. I think possibility actually some upside on this one. Oh, absolutely, Harry. Look at it in a minute, but how long to sell? Yeah. Yeah, leave it alone. But if I had to go in, I think from some upside there. I'll be honest, I would not be shorting it. LAI first, then second buy, third would be a short. That's my take every day. Again, it could be wrong. If you're convinced you're going to get some downside there, well, then feel free to do it, obviously. But since you asked, I would say no. Okay. Happy with that, Divan, or when you want to have another point, I'm happy to discuss. You're happy with that? Okay, fair enough. Okay, I think once we're down there, look at the as well. It's another one. I think I'll be look at that one. It's right on the one now. There. Give the daily. It's another one I wouldn't be keen on. There's a possibility at the bottom of the range, the support there, we could get some upside, but Swiss is reasonably strong as well. I would just think I'd rather get a weaker one to buy the dollar on this one. That's why I wouldn't be too keen on it. Accumulation to explode later. You're in the wrong business job. You should go into writing novels or poetry. I like that. Accumulation to explode later. If you're standing on a speech there, you'd be firing me up. I'm getting quite excited now. Yeah. Accumulation to explode later. Brilliant. Love it. Can't even weave that magic verbal ability on that end gas. It's accumulating gas to explode later. Well, literally, it's natural gas, yeah. Yeah, but where can you put your stop? If you're not worried about a stop, yeah, it's going to get, I'm pretty sure it's going to get 150, but your risk is going to be 8 to get there. Where are you going to put your stop? What's it, a daily? Down there? Yeah, you're going to have, it's going to be over 100 pips away to make about 80 pips. If you want to do it on that basis, well, you can. It's the high probably is going to get to 150, but I'm not sure I'd encourage you to do it. I think it's one of the things you just got to get frustrated and watch them party on board and you're not on board. Okay, right, good to have you with us, Adele. It's not looking a bit prettier ahead than it was earlier on. I'll tell you what, this is our mutual buddy bugbear, this damn thing here, GBP CAD. Ever seen the film Amadeus? When Salieri says, because of Mozart's geniuses, I'm beginning to hate that little man. Well, I'm beginning to hate this little pair. It's getting quite to stages dangerously sort of psychopathic. Well, if you can do it, John, so can I. I want this thing to implode, not I want to implode downwards. It's accumulating to implode. What's a Euro CHF? No, this one I've gone into as well. Let's try to come off a bit. What's it doing now? Trying to come off. Just see that red, stick with it, mate. Okay. AUD mentioned, yeah, stick with it. I said something too early on, Adele, that if you went for it, but yeah, when it was right up to about 63, 20, 30-ish, somewhere like that, I can't remember now. Yeah, bounced up for some reason. I see dollar strength creeping, but as it comes off the dollar, it starts to go back up again. And yeah, that's nicely. Hold on to that, Harry, and whoever's in it, hold with it. And yeah, I see a bit more downside. If you can get down a bit lower and you're in, maybe move the stop just in case silly bloody noise takes over and jumps again. But this was doing phenomenally on the 1 hour chart. Look at it right down here this morning, then shot up, now it's come back off. So yeah, that should hopefully continue. Brent at long last is starting to look pretty 87 below 88. Thank goodness for that. Just the GBP CAD is giving us the jip. The other's not too bad. The other one, NZD USD, I sent that to you to go for. I don't know if you did. That one, yeah, it's coming off nicely. So if you're in it, hold on. Don't jump in now. That ship sailed. If you're in it, hold on. Good stuff. GBP USD, we'll have a look at that. Seems to be doing the business. I think it's got to start bloody bloating soon, John. Has to. I haven't got to at all. I just think it has to. Well, it's trying to come off. A little bit of noise around the 100 times 50, but yeah, the dollar thing is moving up. Bank of England, sodding Bank of England, pumping. Basically, pumping, it's not their money pumping, they're trying to defend the damn thing. It's maneuvering at high levels money rather than earning it like a normal person does by producing a service or a product and selling it, you know. Manipulation. Anyway, legal manipulation, don't get me wrong. Okay, yeah, it seems to be trying to come off, so that's looking a bit prettier. And the euro dollar, that should be coming off as well. Unless Murphy Law kicks it, yeah, movement there. The Nasdaq as well start to move down. Thank goodness. That means the S&P should be coming off. Yeah, that's coming off. So we might get a bit more movement there. And my good friend, the German 30. I think that seems. Oh, it looks coming quite a bit off. Remember I said earlier on, just after 4. I like it for a short. So if you took it, you'd be smiling already. Okay, so there we are. So it's starting to look basically a lot more like Liz Hurley than Quasimodo at the moment. Hey, you know, the bells, you know, Quasimodo? Hunchback of Notre Dame. Reminds me of what's the Shawshank Redemption. And the prisoner there wasn't most educated. And written down, you know, the Three Musketeers by Alexander Dumas, D-U-M-A-S. He says, Alexandre Dumas. What sort of a goddamn name is that? That's a lot. Even Meta started to bloody come to the party after that jump of the bloody NAS earlier on. It's starting to get near to break even after being nice in profit. This is going in the right direction. Is BA doing the same thing? Could be a bit quicker, but it's starting to come right. Starting to come right, a little bit prettier. Brent's looking a lot better. Yeah, just the only one really seemed to be giving us extreme stress, for me anyway. I know you guys put it out. No, I think we're in it again. Is this one here? It's the only one seems to give us jip. It's just acting like it doesn't make sense. If it was against another currency other than the Canadian, I'd understand. But this is a good currency. It's not exactly against an AUD or the NZD or the Japanese yen or the euro. It's against the Canadian, for goodness sake. A resource-driven nation. You have those kind of resources, you can make a right scrub as a leader. No, I wouldn't reason that. But what Venezuela did with oil. I see downsides getting the risk reward, Adele. That's why I didn't talk to you about it earlier on. Well, see downside, absolutely. Couldn't get a risk reward. I'm a bit loath to attack below 1820. So in order to do that, it's only what, 30 bucks. You have a $20 stop or less. Means a 1670 stop. And to me, it's a bit close. That's the only reason. If it's above 1665-ish, preferably 1670, no problem at all. I just think that to get a decent RR on that one, I'm going to back it. And I think it's a bit close to put it about $10. Where can we put it? Try and zoom finally. I'm on the wire chart, sorry. Do it again. Reached above yesterday's high. Now you're talking $22. Yesterday's high, $18. Up today, then you're talking $12. So then you got to look for at least 18, which means that's what, 20, about 16.30. Could get down there. I personally think it's the risk. Is it worth the reward, Adele? If you see where I'm coming from. as I use the term, the maths are against you. Anyway, I think we should get the thing ready if that GBP suddenly comes right. The pound against the CAD, I'm talking about the CAD. I think that'd be worth opening a bottle of champagne and finishing the lot in one session like that. Because that's given me more jip. Well, not me, but some of the others anyway. But now I'm back in it, more jip than a lot of them. Okay, so yeah, pretty miserable. What's it? Fantastic this morning. Got a bit miserable during the afternoon and start to look a lot prettier later on. It's a bit of a Jekyll and Hyde, you know. Start with Jekyll, went into Mr. Hyde, and then back to Dr. Jekyll again. So maybe it will come right. Just stick with that. Okay. Trying to come off the CHF. If you hear a scream, I know the GBP's taken out 155. Okay, right. So I think covered quite a bit there. It seems to be looking pretty good. Say welcome, Harry. It's your first time, I think, here. If it isn't, well, sorry about that. But pardon, it's the first time here. Thanks for taking the trouble. We spoke to you the first time today. Hope you're learning a bit of stuff. And just to cheer you up, most of the trades seem to be looking pretty damn good. Okay, so let's have a look at some new ones if you can find. If you see anything you want to modify a stop, some you're already in, you can mention that as well. Just draw my attention to it and we can have a look at it. Don't know how long it's going to last, but the dollar seems to be coming right on the northern side. I'll look at the yields for you. Just in case people are nervous to ask, I'm going to post them anyway. Economic calendar, etc. Just give me a second for the guys there. Harry and Company, if you haven't got it, you need these. Just hang on, I'll post them for you on the live chat. Not the live chat, sorry, this chat line, yeah. Put the DXY, it's a dollar index, put that on again. Try and make a habit of it, doesn't take long. Some guys are a bit shy to ask, so I'll put it for them. So if you haven't got those three, copy, paste, put in your browser and minimize on your laptop, refer to them. So when I talk about the yields, you know what I mean? We talk about DXY, that's the dollar index, you know what I mean? Very important. And of course, economic calendar. I've filtered it out for you. If you like anything extra, you can play around with it and add a few bits and pieces if you want. But anyway, that's a good thing to have to refer to. And it updates automatically when the information comes through, whether it be the PPI, home sales, jobless claims, CPI, GDP, whatever it is. Yeah. Doesn't give you the rugby scores, but otherwise it's pretty good. Okay, so going back, yeah, the yields just back up just below 4%, which is bad for the index and shares, and the dollar's up, which is good for the dollar and bad for gold and a few other things. Okay, so yeah. Anyway, I mentioned my take on gold. What do you guys think? Do you see a trade on gold? My worry, like I mentioned, is getting a risk reward. And prefer to get a better price, but that's just my advice. Again, anybody disagree? Anybody think you can buy or sell it here? If you want to take an aggressive short, my friend, as long as it's an aggressive short. Oh, where are you going to put your stop? I have to use a 4, I think. What is it seriously aggressive? Yeah, maybe a $10 stop. You're that's seriously aggressive. Well, bid upon you. A $10 stop if you want to do it, but once you're down about 16.45, if it gets there, get your stop down pretty damn sharpish to reduce risk. So a $10 stop. Yeah, and then you can work out how you know how to work out the risk reward on that. On a contract at 10, just remember it's $10 per 1.0, so it'd be $100 risk. Obviously, a different story. We've got a bigger contract size, but I mean, yeah, I would suggest that well, not keen. No, you know the score now. If you want to go for it, you do it. I'm sorry. And so I think hinting not to is popping up as we speak. I think you should take a deep breath on that one myself. Probably great tomorrow if it screams down to 1600 and then you throw stones at me. Yeah, always remember, by the way, I mentioned contract size. Always remember, check the contract size or anything. Just make sure you know what you're dealing with. Left click, right click, go to specifications. There's information. I said a 10. If you had a contract size of 100, obviously 1 is a far different ball game to 1 on this one. If that said a contract of 1,000, 1 is a very different to a contract size of 10. Yeah, probably a better idea. Because each market maker sets their own contract sizes, their own whatever. So just bear that in mind. Like, for instance, NGAS is contract size 1,000, oil's 100. On some others might be different, just also check that. Okay, where were we? What is this thing? Is it bouncing back up again? Bloody hell. Go figure, eh? The dollar's going up, so the pound decides to get stronger. I reckon Bailey's up to something there. Behind the scenes, I think he's bankrupting the nation to preserve the pound. That's the only thing I think of. Because remember, it's a mess. It's a mess. Oh, probably enough on that. No point going on. Okay, right. It's still trying to come down. It's just bouncing around a bit. Normal story. Okay, right. We've got a few out, like I mentioned. Anything else like discuss? You've all got the yields sorted out. Have you got your position size calculator? Don't forget, always have this loaded onto your platform. And this is for everything except shares. Remember, it doesn't work for shares. Shares, you've got to get the Excel spreadsheet on your LMS. Don't try and put a share in here and go 0.01 a share. It's a different ballgame. Shares, you can put in 30, 40, 50. You can put 100.0 a share if it's a cheap share. You get the point. It's a different ballgame. But it seems to be jumping around a lot. I think we've got quite a few good trades out there, and we've got a few more, of course, but at the moment is jumping around a bit. Don't get too cute. Doing all right despite it. It's just a lot of nerves out there, including mine. Can we short this one? I like this one to short. One of the weaker ones. I think I might have missed it. Should have looked at that earlier on. About an hour ago. Hey? Yeah, I should have shorted just there. Missed that one. Should have looked at that. Forgot to write it down. Beg your pardon, guys. Okay, right. Yeah, anything else you'd like to look at, guys? Needed a hand here because I think I've run out. Anything else, guys? Finally, Jacob, anybody? Are they doing all right, Palisa? Are they doing okay, Palisa? Good. It's good to hear. Carries the new guys. It does okay. I'm in the blues, yeah. Lady sings the blues. Good stuff, Harry. You okay there, Devon? You all right? Happy? Everyone happy? Good. Oh, pretty good stuff. Oh, good. So blue's the color of the moment. Good stuff. That is good to hear. It's all very well and fine to talk fancy economic jargon, but the bottom line is, oh God, yeah, that's the only blue that's no good. Actually, that's a black eye. In business, you want to be in the black, except this one's giving you a black eye. I bet you are. Finally joined the club. The major thing is, apart from the GB CAD giving the blue eye, the other side, not too bad. Good to see that anyway. I think we commend ourselves on that, despite this ridiculous markets up and down. Seem to be doing okay. Can you imagine we get smoother? Then we should really kill it. It's a good time to learn, actually, when it's like this. If you get through the tough marine obstacle course, should be plain sailing after that. It would never be totally easy on a serious note, ever. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I mean, actually, on the mood swing, you're always going to have the noise. You're always going to have the noise. But you understand that, you know, a little bit of noise comes off, a little bit of noise comes off, because it gets a direction. Buy and sell, moving on. It's when you get the swings like this, up it goes, then down. This is where it really tires you out, tires everybody out. By the way, don't forget Ash is on tomorrow. So he'll be in his stint. His stint. We do week on, week off, as you know. So I'll be able to spend more time with guys on trade ideas, etc., during the day, because I won't have the speed taken up and in the TR. So people WhatsApp me, I can't always take time to look into it because I'm in the WhatsApp, because I'm in the training room. Okay. Thank you, Palesa. Great to have you back, of course. Hope you can continue to grace us with your presence. But yeah, I think it might be the time of the month, because I've some pretty serious swings today. But the dollar's still holding its head up. It's still holding its head up, so maybe it'll come right. Thank you. Well, it's still going up, this thing. What on earth is driving it? We're going to miss this. Still think it's an opportunity to join it. It's dancing around, dancing in the dark, you know the song. But still think it's worth, if you haven't joined it, I think that's worth joining. Would prefer a slightly higher price, to be honest, around about these levels here. But yeah. And then ZD, is it bound to get a chance for those who missed it to join? Sort of get it like a little bit higher up. And the euro dollar, certainly would like, I'd like to join that if you haven't got it a little bit higher up again. But it's dancing around. Hopefully it'll come right by tomorrow. A big smile on the face. Okay, I think that's about the lot we got for trade. So next thing, anybody, anything you'd like to ask, you'd like to go over? If we've got a quiet moment, I can ask some questions that you might have. Not what the gold price is going to go up and down in the next 10 minutes, I don't know. From the basics of trading you're not sure of, anything you're battling with, you should all know how to work out your volumes. You should all know what a leverage instrument is. You're in a leverage instrument, what it means, how to get these, work it out. The leverage is quite simple. Just pick anything, just left click, right click on it, specification, you divide your margin to 100, give you a leverage, contract size, everything there. There's the information. You've got your DXY, all the basics. If you haven't, this is a good time when we've got no more real trade ideas to chat about, to go in. I like it. That number comes first. I like it. If you can squeeze a slightly better price, I'm not sure you're going to get it though. 63 is about, yeah. I think once it starts dropping below 63, it might be a bit late. But yeah, I definitely see the downside, yeah. EURAUD. If you just get it a little bit higher, you can just jump another 10 pips. Obviously, I hope it don't. A lot of guys are in short on this one. But if it does, I'm pushing it a bit to chase it here. I might get a slight better price. Funny. What are you looking at? EURAUD. Well, it's another one on the one out for the daily. Another one is, who's got that one? I think someone's got that one. This, I think Jeff's got this as a buy, 56.34. Technically, it's a buy. Fundamentally, I'm not so sure. I think it's a bit high. Euros is pretty weak. Aussie's not the strongest side, but it's not bad. Euro is still a reasonably weak currency, despite the fact it's had a hell of a run since late August. I'll give you that. But I'm not sure that's going to be sustained. It's not the dollar, it's not the Canadian, it's not the Swissy, it's the euro. You know, I'm not sure. Even a slightly more hawkish from President Lagarde. She's the chair lady of, sorry, she's the president of the ECB, European Central Bank. Sort of Europe's answer to Jerome Powell, who's the chairman of the Federal Reserve. Okay, U.S. Federal Reserve. So hawkish given a bit of a tailwind, but I'm not sure that's going to be sustained. You might be lucky with that trade that Zef came out this morning. I put it down, people eyes liked it at 56.34 as a buy. I have my doubts. technically it worried me from selling it short, but I think it's overcooked. I think it might get a bit of downside here. So I personally think that I'd rather leave it, personally, but I'm not putting out the fact you might get a bit of downside here. Okay, well, I'll get clear on that, Divan. Finally go back AUD, it jumped up a little bit, give you an entry. It's pushing it a bit, it's pushing it. Okay, thanks, Divan. It's pushing a bit to enter now. Let's try shorter term. I think you're pushing it a bit there. If it goes up a bit more, it looks like you might get a better price to short it. Okay. Obviously, those didn't hold on. It's giving you mental chip. I get that, but the overall picture, I think it's still going to have a bit of dollar strength. Well, it's battling to really get going. Maybe a few fundies tomorrow will help it along. Well, look, again, sorry guys, it's going to be fairly weak on the economic front. One or two there, but it's not full of them. Okay, right. Anything like to revisit? Covered quite a bit. We seem to be doing okay-ish. Anything like to revisit, guys? Anything like you're in, you want to look at it, or ask why this is happening, or that, or something I mentioned you're not too sure about? And someone come in today on the WhatsApp saying, you joined the training, didn't understand what's going on. But fair enough. But no harm in asking to find out, you know. So thanks, Doc. Okay, well, it means I presume that you've got to shoot. Fair enough then, Werner. Yeah, because I can, all the things we can control, it's very important we learn that those we can control. So you concentrate on the vagaries of the market, which, as I say, we cannot control. Excuse me, this bloody thing does squeak out. Brand new, well, brand new, it's not that old, only a few months old, this chair. That's a nice chair, apart from the squeaking. Anyway, yeah, so yeah. Anything got an eye on or anything? Because I've run out of anything to inform with, because I think you're already up to speed so far. Oh yes, forgot, always do this one as well. Save your charts, right click anywhere on the chart and make sure you go to, where's the save, sorry, templates, save the template, don't forget. So if you have a problem losing the charts, you just go to template and you'll find them all there. Okay, so don't forget to save your charts. I take it everyone's got the 200 and the 50. If you like the 10, put it on. That's useful. I like it myself, but that's my choice. But this is, everybody uses it, so everybody, majority of people use it. So 50 and the 200, simple moving average. Put them on there and save the chart. Don't forget that. Don't want guys calling up, which is time consuming for us as well as yourself. So lost my charts, so what do I do now? We'll go back because you saved it. And get the templates and just click on it and up it comes again, and you can save a few of them. And all have no excuse. Those go to the trading room to get the volumes incorrect because you got the calculator doing it for you. If you haven't downloaded it, that's, well, not much I can do about that. Now it's just trying to come off again. S&P should be coming off a little bit. Just trying to. I think that's a bit late to join now. Yeah, pretty, a little bit higher up being ideal earlier on. And Euro, definitely, I think the ship has sailed as well. Yeah, that ship sailed. Okay. It's trying to come off. I think it's building up for a breakthrough, so it's going to come out. Just need a bit of a tailwind up the DXY, and then we have some smiles on the guys' faces. Okay, Adele, good stuff. Thanks anyway for joining. And yeah, just WhatsApp lady if you like. Okay, great. Hope the person you're meeting is fascinating and interesting. Maybe give an answer to GBP CAD. Cheers, Petra. Oh, so you're just saying cheers to Adele. Okay, guys, quite a few guys are leaving now. So we've only got about 10 people left in here apart from myself. So I'm just, the trade's just about there. So just maybe do a little bit of instruction. If you know, unless you've got a trade idea, that takes obviously priority. Any questions, any instructions you'd like to ask? Sephora, I recognize the name. Are you one of the guys who works with us? So that I think a couple of questions were coming in. It's coming off nicely, Lily, because Sephora is not that unusual a name. One of the same. Sent the WhatsApp earlier on about a certain client that I'm looking after. Are you the same person? If you are, good stuff you're here, learning stuff. Great, just good. Someone here talks are blue, not red. You all good? If I can't assist you on anything like that, I'm going to wrap it up because we're out of trade for the time being. Keep an eye on them and see what we can talk about. Oh, in the blue, that's what I do here. So I've run out of stuff to say. I don't encourage. I can only explain on questions, etc. Everyone seems to be on the same page. They got the knowledge there, which is great to see how the trades work out. That's outside your control, like I said. And all the other stuff we've covered, you're happy with that. You mentioned that. And yeah, and just hopefully start getting better as the evening progresses. Oh, sure, yeah. Right, I took it a little bit higher up. First of all, as I say, the 200, I say everyone's got to have them. This is a filter. If it's below, it's in the sell zone, in between the neutral zone. We're talking technical, not fundamental. We'll come to that in a minute. If it's above the 2, it's in the buy zone. So you buy the retracement. Here we sell the rally. In this area here, you buy or sell. So you buy it down here, sell it down there, depending on the situation. Also, it tackled the 10-day moving average. This is the 10-day and didn't overcome it. Also, the dollar's pulled back a bit, but the dollar is still pretty strong. The dollar is now become a safe haven. Gold, because it has come off a bit, so people are going towards the dollar as a safe haven, which means when you buy the dollar, it's going to force the price up. Okay, because of the high inflation impact we've got over there, the Jerome Powell, who's the chairman of the Fed there, has been adamant on every single meeting that they call the FOMC, Federal Open Market Committee meeting, have 8 a year. And he's saying each time he's completely stick to the guns. He wants to bring that inflation down. It's gone to about 9. It's come off a bit, but 2% is what he's aiming at. So within reason, he doesn't create a total stagflation recession, but the marks on interest rates. So it looks very strongly it's going to be another interest rate coming up next month of 75 basis points. Nearly 100% of the analysts out there, are institutional analysts, etc., are pricing that in. Okay, and they're even looking again the following month of maybe more interest rates. There's world debt out there like you won't believe, and inflation is getting out of hand. From COVID, they stimulated the economy to such an extent that low interest rates encourage people to borrow to buy goods to get people back to work and kickstart the economy. But the problem is when you do that, you're increasing debt on a personal basis and inflation started to kick up. So putting that together, a stronger dollar, Australian dollar is what I call a middleweight currency. The dollar is a heavyweight currency, and the dollar strengthens the way forward. I saw the sell. I also see it in the sell zone here, and I saw it rise back up here on the daily. I do my strategy on the daily to attack this particular 10-day, and it seemed to be holding. So I saw that as some more downside. That's the reason why I went for it. Bit of a long-winded way of saying it, but I had to give my full terminology there as to why. Does that answer your question? Okay, good. Any other questions? That's what we want. We want that interaction. I can't help if the guys, put this. Nothing's going through. What's the point? Yeah. Tebo's been here a while, so he's learning stuff. I know Knowledge learned some good stuff. But Celia, I think, is Botswana based. Good to have you with us. Finally, of course, know the score, Divan. But Celia, are you starting to fall into place a bit? Okay. Celia, probably playing around something. Okay, then. You have to speak and tap it out. Okay, any other questions? Doesn't want to speak to me. Okay, that's fair enough. Any other question, guys? You haven't got anybody left on board. So we'll wrap it up. I'll catch you next Wednesday. You can join and enjoy Ashley tomorrow. He goes into some nice detail for you. And then we'll catch you next week if you can join and see if we can get some other good trades. Blue seems the name of the color at the moment. Well, I'm happy with that. So that's brilliant. Okay, guys, fantastic. Thanks for your support. And yeah, catch you next time I see you. Thanks, guys. See you Wednesday. Cheers.